Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another interesting knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the Vosteed Psyop, specifically the 3-inch version. I'm going to kind of refer to this as the medium version. There's a mini Psyop, and then there's one that's a little bigger. I'll have the correct links down in the description so you guys can go and check out all of this. But it's important to point out that this, as far as I know, does not have any sort of indicator in the title outside of the blade length. But yeah, this is kind of an in-between size Psyop, of course, designed by Jeff Blauvelt of Tough Knives. Really, really nice guy. Check out his custom work on Instagram for sure. But yeah, this the Psyop is definitely a favorite model for Vosteed by many people in this community. And I think that this is going to be the just right size for so many people who probably thought the big one's too big and the small one was too small. A little bit of a Goldilocks situation here. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Thanks to Vosteed for sending this in. Please make sure that your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and get a measurement of this guy. Overall length, this is about as medium-sized get. It's a little, yeah, it's about, I'm going to say 7 1/8. Very close to the size of the Para 3, which I would describe as a medium-sized knife. Blade length is exactly what they listed as 2.99. I'm going to call that 3. Blade length is coming in at 2.9 inches. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. Any custom scales you find in this section can be found down in the description under Original Goat and others. Up against the AD10 and my own Excalibur. These are larger knives at 8.5 inches, so it appears a lot smaller, but it's still not something I would call a small knife. Let's put it up against the Spyderco PM2 and the Spyderco Para 3. As I mentioned, it's very close to the size of the Para 3. It actually has a little bit more cutting edge. The Para 3 actually looks kind of gigantic because it's at the bottom of the screen and the camera's at an angle, so we'll put it up top so I can kind of show you what I mean here. It's very close to the same size as the Para 3, and it actually has, in my opinion, a more open ergonomic profile. There's no, cutoff at the, most people don't put their pinkies back here, so the end of the Para 3 is kind of just right here, and then instead of this divider, you have this whole open area here. So some people might find that this version of the Psyop is actually ergonomically preferential to the Spyderco Para 3. Is that how we would say that? Let's put it up against the Benchmade Griptilian, or in this case, the Ritter Hogue and the Hogue Deca. A little smaller than the Deca. How is the action? Well, this is Vosteed's famous button-operated top liner lock, which I really wish was a locking system that pretty much every other company would adopt in some way, shape, or form. Kaiser is figuring this out. A couple other companies are figuring this out. But this, in my opinion, should absolutely replace plunge locks. I think that some people still prefer to disengage their liner locks in here, right? This is a top liner lock. It is different. So I can see why there might still be a place preference, like just due to preference for a liner lock. But this is superior to a standard button lock in every way, in absolutely every way, and it is far, far more reliable. This is a very, very good system, and I like it a lot. The action is spectacular. Push down on the button, and the blade releases and falls, and you can see here it is incredibly smooth. Thumb studs allow you to deploy the blade. I wish that Vosteed would adopt domed studs, but these are plenty comfortable, so that's fine. It does exactly what you want it to do. The other nice thing about a button-operated top liner lock is that it has a detent ball and does not rely on like a standard button or plunge lock. It doesn't rely on the plunge lock itself to create the detent. So instead of this sort of Pringles can full of water kind of slop falling out deployment feeling, you get a nice crisp break of the detent. It feels really, really good. So, yeah, action good is what I'm saying. Let's do carry profile thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. This guy's a little thicker and it's also contoured, which is nice. Length and height up against the PM2 and Para 3. This was a very, very easy knife to carry. I really enjoyed it. It carries like a lot of other knives this size. I kind of appreciate that it's not ultra thin. When we get down to this size of knife, if it's too thin, it's kind of irritating. I still want it to be able to fill out the hand without being too heavy, and that it, in my opinion, it accomplishes that and takes up less room in your pocket than both the PM2 and Para 3. Let's go ahead and weigh it. What are we looking at for materials here? Well, we have a combination of steel, aluminum, and Norplex Ultrix micarta. And I was like, wow, what's that? It has a lot of X's in it. It's apparently micarta made by Norplex Ultrix. I couldn't... Maybe you guys can tell me. I don't want to sit here and pretend like, oh, well, nothing special. I know they're just trying to trick us with fancy words. Perhaps they do something different. I don't know. I didn't look at their website long enough. It appears that they are simply a company called Norplex Ultrix that makes micarta, and micarta is good. That's what I got from the website, that micarta inherently is a good product. But perhaps they do something different. I don't really know. Maybe Vosteed can fill me in on that. This looks and feels like micarta. This is a sort of Easter-y colored micarta. In fact, the whole knife kind of makes me think of Easter, which is pleasant, but it might be, this is kind of on the pastel spectrum of colors here, and some people like that and some people don't. Fortunately, you have many, many different aesthetic options when it comes to well, I say many. I think there's 4 or 5 different setups, and some of them are more, earthy or tactical or whatever. So you can kind of pick what you want there. But this is a pretty good looking combination of materials here. And I also like that they extended this gold to the pocket clip and bag spacer. That's a nice touch. Oh, and the thumb studs as well. What do we have for the blade material? We have S35VN, which is great. No issue with that, especially considering the price tag. So yeah, let's go ahead and weigh it. Do we have any milling for weight reduction? We do a little bit on the internal steel liners. So the weight on this guy probably nearing 4 ounces, a little over 4 ounces, a little heavier than I was expecting to see. 4.3 ounces. We have a little, a late change there. Balance on this knife is actually slightly favoring the butt side, but there's nothing wrong with favoring the butt. That's typical. The knife, sorry, I gotta work on my smooth transitions. Yeah, ergonomically and as far as the balance in hand, I can feel the weight in the handle, but it's not so substantial. The overall weight of the knife isn't so much that it's sort of tearing me away from the fact that it's small, lightweight, compact, and comfortable. So it's good. I don't have a problem with that. Let's go ahead and do carry profile. Thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. What did I say? Let's go ahead and do a hardware check. Did I just... figure out where you are in the review, Complex. All right, let's do a hardware check. I'm going to get out my tools. My tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools that I use on my channel. Let's see here. How many of you own this? I'm just curious. Like, how many of you actually own it? It really is great. Like, this is all I use down here. I'm just curious how many of you actually own this thing and use it. I'd like to know. T8 for the pivot, T8 for the body screws, T8 for the pocket clip screw. Look at Vosteed, just win no matter what. It's so good. That was super lame. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. Yeah, really easy to take apart and put back together. As long as you have the right tools for the job, you should be good to go. Let's measure the blade stock thickness and get into the meat and potatoes here. I keep saying Vosteed W, but like it's also Jeff Blauvelt. Like, I mean, it's clearly Jeff Blauvelt, like just being a good knife designer. 118 thousandths, so on the thinner side. Okay, meat and potatoes time. I like how this looks. Now, a lot of people look at this and say, what's so special? It's a simple drop point blade, and it's kind of a traditional modern tactical ergonomic profile. Yes, that's true. But all of the little things that should be done are done correctly, and it still somehow does have some unique character. I feel like it's in here. This area here, this transition, and into this area right here. I'll let you guys take a look at that plunge grind. But I feel like that's kind of where this is. If you've ever seen the breaker from Jeff Blauvelt, like that's kind of what this makes me think of a little bit, and I really, really like the breaker, but this is doing its own thing. Ergonomically, it is super comfortable. You can choke back, but there is a little area here that's not really a choil, that is jimped, that allows you to choke up right behind the blade, and there's also meaningful traction in the jimping up here that complements your index finger position. These bolsters and the scales are also contoured, which is really nice. They are beveled nicely, so there's no sharp edges where there shouldn't be, just on the cutting edge. The blade here, simple drop point blade with satin finish, which looks nice. Really, there's no area that I feel like I need to change or would want to change. Like I said, I kind of like domed thumb studs, but these are good. They're definitely not sharp or uncomfortable, and I can very easily do all of my fancy reverse flicks and all of that. Another reason that I personally like a button-operated top liner lock is because my fingers are never in the way of the blade. Admittedly, as much as I play with knives here for work, it's actually pretty rare that I cut myself with the blade coming down into the closed position, because I've just kind of naturally, learned to get my fingers out of the way. But, put enough monkeys in a room with a typewriter and let them live forever and they'll write Shakespeare. I will cut myself far sooner than that would happen. And will definitely again. So it's nice, even though it's rare for the blade to come down and cut me on the, while I'm disengaging the lock and closing the knife. I do like to operate my knives with one hand, both deploying and closing. So even if it's 1 in 100 times that would happen, it's nice to eliminate that 1 in 100 and turn it into maybe 1 in 1,000. So I appreciate that, definitely. Very comfortable, and because it is a wire clip, that's also a nice cozy ergonomic feature, because it really doesn't create a hot spot. Some people don't like this, how it looks. I don't really care. I just don't love that they all have bills. I wish they would just stop right here. But truthfully, in and out of the pocket, this was fine. Left-handed people, you can mount this for left-handed carry, which is great. Your experience will be essentially exactly the same. Even choking up here, the way that this button is nested, I cannot squeeze this hard enough and in a natural way where I feel like this is going to disengage. Be cognizant of it. Most of the time you'll be like this, but even choked up in the hammer grip, I don't feel like I can put enough pressure directly on the button to disengage it. Not to the point where you just forget about it. You should still be thinking about it, but left-handed people, your experience is going to be largely the same, outside of the fact that you will disengage the lock with your index finger instead of your thumb. So some people might actually prefer that. Nice little backspacer here, nice lanyard hole. If you're a lanyardy person, you can put a little lanyard on there, right? Maybe some more pastel colors, if you please. We have a stop pin located in its traditional position. No blade play up, down, left to right. No lock stick. No pivot lash. Smooth and consistent. Nice clicky detent. And a perfectly centered blade with no detent lash. This knife comes in at $139. This is a knife that is manufactured in China. It's utilizing, good materials. We got aluminum and we have micarta, and it's contoured and it's very smooth, right? S35VN is definitely still a super steel. People like to change that definition based on how long they've been aware of the steel, and that is not how that works. I think everybody would still call M390 a super steel, and I'll remind you that that knife has been around, or that steel has been around since the late 90s, so that's not how that works. S35VN is absolutely still a super steel, and in my opinion is still one of the very best steels that you can buy for a pocket knife. Comparing this with, say, Kershaw. Kershaw is making their knives, their U.S. knives are made in the United States, like the Bel Air. The Bel Air is a lot smaller, sure, but Magna Cut and, micarta or aluminum or whatever, and they tend to run somewhere around 160, 170. Is that about right? So you could compare, to that for an American product. Like that's probably one of the best priced, actually, American made products. A lot of people throw around a whole bunch of names, and a lot of you guys don't realize that those companies that you're throwing around are not actually making knives in the USA. So, I won't name names. I'll let you guys, talk about it in the comment section because there's a bunch of them. But a lot of those companies will say, assembled in the USA. And what that means is they just, everything's from China and then they ship all the parts here. And then there's a guy with a screwdriver going, yup, I did it here. That's what that is. So no, that's not the same thing as Kershaw and other companies actually manufacturing their knives in the United States. Kershaw still does outsource a couple of parts, but the vast majority of the knife is manufactured in the USA. So anyways, comparing to them, that's probably some of the best priced truly USA made knives out there, right? Let's say $165. So you're looking at a $20 difference here for, US manufacturing and MagnaCut, and then, a slightly smaller knife. So I feel like this probably could have been a little bit less considering it is manufactured in China, but just because it's manufactured in China doesn't mean that we should cut the price in half. That's not how that works. We are still working with steel that is manufactured in the USA. It's not like, it's not like Chinese S35EN, at least not now, not yet. But this is still S35EN. And they're still manufacturing at premium tolerances, right? And they have that button-operated compression lock. It's a nice product. I think 125 or so, maybe 120 would have been a little bit more impressive, but I'm not mad about this at 140. I think Vosteed is doing some of the best work in the industry at this super weird $100 to $150 territory. There's not a lot of companies that tackle it well outside of, Kaiser and Vosteed and maybe like one other. So honestly, I think this is pretty darn good. Everything could be $20 less and make me $20 happier, but truthfully, this is a good buy. So basically, yeah, thumbs up. This is a knife that I recommend. If you buy it, I think you're going to be happy with it. Please, please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.